Okay, so a lot of us were sitting around on our arses the last couple of months and really trying to figure out the changes that we need to make in our lives, things that we need to do, improvements we want to make, directions we want to go in. And now that the world is opening up and we're actually able to implement some of the plans that we have in place, a lot of, there's going to be, it may be difficult to actually implement those thoughts. So say for instance, you wanted to, you really decided, you had all this time on your hands, you really decided that you really want to get into shape and you want to make a positive physical change in your body, be healthier. But of course, all the gyms were closed. So, you were home and you were eating better and, maybe you were doing some exercise at home, some body weight stuff and doing a little bit more cardio like running or walking or whatever it may be. And you said, once quarantine ends and the gyms open up, I'm gonna go back to the gym and I'm gonna work out a few times a week. But all of a sudden now you gotta go back to work and, kids' activities are starting to pick back up again. And, life is starting to pick up on all fronts. And, it's very easy for that plan that you have to get into shape or, again, whatever that change is that you want to implement but you weren't able to do because everything was closed. It's very easy for that to fall on the wayside and then life to sweep you away, again, that sort of the busyness, that busy wave of life, with all of the other things that we have going on in our lives. But, now is a great time when we're sort of ramping into life again. We're all going back to work a little bit more, restaurants are opening up, life is opening up. It's important to structure how you're going to implement your plan. So you really have to have a structured way to achieve what your goal may be. And one of the things to think about is what's your daily win? What are you going to do every day to get you one step closer to your goal? So if it's a day that you have to go to work and you can't necessarily work out, maybe that'll be a day where you implement something specific in your diet. Today I'm gonna be low carb, I'm gonna eat whatever grams of protein, measure out your food, prepare it the day before, and you take it to work that day. The next day, maybe if you're not going to work and you're working from home and the gym is open, you say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm gonna go to the gym. And you're gonna really structure it, you're gonna set up a plan, because if you don't set up a plan, it's very hard to achieve a goal. So every day you set up what your daily win's gonna be, and then you implement that plan no matter what. So that one thing that you need to get done to get one step closer to your goal, you have to do it. Otherwise, you have to be hard on yourself if you miss that accomplishment for the day, because you win the day, you win multiple days in a row, you win weeks in a row, you win months in a row, you win years in a row. That's how you really get sustained change. It can really make something dramatic happen in your life. So I guess my one piece of advice is, as the world opens up and we're starting to get busier on all fronts of life, don't forget what you thought about and the change that you said to yourself that you want to implement to be happier and more fulfilled. Because now is the time to actually make that goal a reality. But in order to do that, you got to figure out what your daily win's going to be for the day. You got to set up a schedule and you got to stick to it. Let's get it.